Peace and blessings, kings and queens. This is Shakara representing at the Diaspora and the Homecoming event hosted by Brother Minister Brother Minister Abdul Hakim Mohammed of the Nation of Islam here in the UK. And I have the absolute pleasure of standing next to, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to blow out this. Well, this is one of my favorite people ever in life. You know what I'm saying? She goes by the name of Her Royal Highness Tsotsoo. Soyoo. Thank you for being with us, Namanya.
You're most welcome. You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Indeed. And it's a pleasure to have you on Gotcrush TV. You know what I'm saying? Yes, this is your first time on Gotcrush TV.
On the TV, but I've been on the radio.
Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? So we give facts. So first and foremost, just explain to our viewers what your role is as Her Royal Highness Tsotsoo Soyoo.
Okay. So as a traditional ruler, my role primarily in these days is to mobilize the community, teach culture, educate people really about the culture and its implications in all its forms through organizing events, cultural events such as the Honourable Festival, which I champion every year in this country, as well as other initiatives. I do a lot of speaking engagements. I also do a lot of community advocacy work, engaging with governments, the Ghana government, the UK government, changing policies, and also changing the narrative. At the moment, I'm on the Diaspora Committee, which means I'm very much involved in the Homecoming initiative, and it's something that's close to my heart. And so, in a nutshell, that's what I'm doing. I'm a very busy woman.
Well, so, I mean, and you're one of the most visible people that we can see out here in terms of traditional rulers, so to speak, in this country, yeah? And so, I mean, you would have probably seen some pictures of Tsotsoo Soyoo somewhere about the place, all right? But being in an event like this, an environment like this, why is it important for you to be here for a subject such as repatriation, returning home? And what is it specifically that you have to offer in your role?
Okay, so for people to have a visible presence of traditional authority, I think it's very important. We're talking about engaging with the motherland, and part of that engagement is they will encounter people like me in different jurisdictions within Ghana. Secondly, I have a vested interest in telling the diaspora story and the return story. To me, it's very important that people I consider my brothers and sisters understand that we want them home. It's like having a son, a daughter, a brother and sister who has relocated elsewhere, and you're saying, listen, now the home needs you back to come and help grow our homestead. Is the very reason why I am here. I think it's important to teach people and give them an understanding of the realities of Ghana and of Africa, and that's why I'm here today. Yes. That's why it's important for me to be.
As we know, Ghana has declared the year of return. Have you been back to Ghana in the year of return?
Oh yes, I've been very, very involved in formulating the year of return as well as the homecoming. I'm going next month. I was meant to go in July and the Prince fell ill, so I'm going next month. But I go to Ghana back and forth a lot. So for me, it's like taking my bag and going from Brixton to Camden.
But just in terms of your experience with the year of return, how has it been? What has the experience been like for yourself, and how have you seen people returning and their experiences? What can you share with our viewers in terms of what has happened in the year of return?
So I've witnessed some amazing things happen. I've witnessed a group of 40 diasporans come to Ghana, over 40 in fact, and these were celebrities especially who came and were able to utilize their platform to talk to other people about returning. That's very significant. Out of that, they have experienced for the first time the continent as it is rather than what they have been told. There were people who have never been there before. I've witnessed people who have gone through the forts, to learn about the history of transportation of humans to another land, and they've engaged from a spiritual and an emotional perspective, but they've also found peace and closure. So for me, these are some of the things. And of course, there are people who want to set up businesses, there are people who want to set up schools, in Ghana and bring back the skills to build this Africa that we all want. So for me, I'm seeing different, what I call mini miracles happening around this whole Year of Return initiative.
All right. I had the pleasure of visiting Ghana in 2015. I'm yet to get back there. I will, and I'll try to go this year, but it may not take place. Yeah. But I did have the pleasure last year of meeting Nana Kobina and Ketsia, the fifth. Yeah. Now he's obviously among the Akan, the Ashanti people. Yeah. Right. Now, which brings me to a kind of a maybe slightly controversial question. Yeah. Because we get this impression, one of the things that we told about Africa is about the tribalism. Yeah. And there's all these tribes that they don't get along and these kinds of things. And as a traditional ruler, are there relationships between the traditional rulership of different nations within Ghana?
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I said earlier that in every household there's some kind of disagreement.
Yes.
Is the same in Ghana. Right. There is no such thing as tribes not getting along at all. Okay. We intermarry.
Yes.
And I was just talking to Nanefri over there, and she was telling me she was married to a Gam man. Yes. So it's.
I hear you are trouble though, you know.
Well, no, we are the ones who would, if there's something that needs to be done, we're the ones who would really normally agitate for it.
Okay.
So we intermarry. That's one of the key things. Most children are dual tribes in Ghana. So by and large, I mean, there is always going to be little issues and stereotypes. This tribe does this and that tribe. As you said, the stereotype is Ghans, we're a bit of troublemakers, but we're not really. And
that's
so...
I say that tongue in cheek because between me and you, I can appreciate the attraction of a Ghana woman. I'm not going to lie. That's a little secret between me and you.
And I think everybody does that. It's always tongue in cheek. I think it's always in jest when they say, listen, these people are troubled, these people are this. It's always done in jest. We love each other. One thing I say about the Ghanaian spirit, we may have our little home differences, but when it comes to the point where we have to stand together, everybody rallies together, because then we become Ghanaians rather than tribes, and I think that's very important.
So are there, in terms of us returning home and repatriation, because in a sense one of the major things is that there's a need for us to forge greater African unity, and so I think more people are starting to see the traditional communal systems as the vehicle for forging that greater unity. Would you agree with that?
Oh, totally. I'm a strong advocate for that. And I think, I mentioned earlier that to bring our youth back from where they are at the moment in the UK, we need to bring them to the traditional setting, take them back to basics. In Akan language, we say Sankofa. So that you need to bring them back to the root of where they're from. And I think it's very important that the traditional element of our culture is engaged with at every level, and that starts from us in Ghana.
Thank you very much, Her Royal Highness. Now, Tsotsoo, Kings and Queens, we're gonna keep bringing you more of this. Are you Walado? Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? That means thank you for Kings and Queens in Ghana. I've been learning my local guy, you know what I mean, Kings and Queens. But yeah, we give thanks for being here, and do remember, stay true to Got Kush TV, because we're gonna bring you more content like this. You ain't got nothing if you ain't got Kush. Peace and blessings. Greetings, Kings and Queens, Got Kush TV. We are live here in the house of the Nation of Islam. Just had a fantastic heavyweight conversation on repatriation to the motherland, Africa, more specifically the nation of Ghana. And I have the pleasure of standing next to a sister by the name of Nana Afriye. And she, I'm going to let her explain exactly what she does. Greetings, Nana Afriye.
Greetings. Thank you very much for having me on board. My name, as the brother said, my name is Nana Afriye, and I run a social enterprise called The Network. And what that is we connect people from the diaspora to Africa with products and services, and try and engage them to come back to Africa and utilize their skills over there. So we put on sessions like today, like panels of speakers from different expertise and services, and talk about the real things that actually go on in Africa.
Real things, Kings and Queens, real things.
So, how easy it is or not so easy to set up a company in Africa, the different tax issues and laws and legislations that you have to follow in, order to set up a business.
I heard you say that you've been working in this field for about 20 years. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you don't look old enough, right? You know what I'm saying? However, it's a lot of experience. And so this, in terms of looking at the terrain, Are you finding that more of us are looking to return now than we were like 20 years ago?
Oh, most definitely. I think, you know, in the last 20 years, to be honest, when I was first making the whole transition of going to Africa, it was more on a party element, I would say. A lot of people that I would meet in Ghana, they were more there just to party, and it was a social thing. But now the narrative has changed. So a lot of people from my generation and even younger want to do business in Africa. They want to like not just do the whole social aspect, but make sure that they leave somewhat of a legacy. Yeah, so it has changed a lot, but for the good.
And I heard you say also that you have some experience with other African countries as well. Yeah, so let's tell our viewers a bit about that.
Okay, well, I do a lot of work in Equatorial Guinea, which is on the in the western region of Africa, on the equator. It's a very small country, not a lot of people know about it, but it's got a population of less than 1 million. It's the only African country that speaks Spanish, because they were colonized by the Spanish. So what I did was I managed to network a lot with different people there, and 2 years ago, I got, as well as one of my colleagues, we both got invited out to Equatorial Guinea to do a peace concert by the vice president of the country, and that was put on to do like a concert with about 20,000 youth on the beach. Wow. So it was a very hard work, but it was a lot of fun. We invited people out like Davido, KC, and Bisakade, who's a Ghanaian artist as well. So that was done over a period of 2 days. So that was really good, and it brought a good sense of social cohesion. So from that, I then went on to do cultural festivals in Ghana, in the eastern region of Ghana, and that was overlooked by the paramount chief of, we call it the Okri, and so he gave me the authority to do the festival, and that was very successful, and that was done over for a week.
All right, so second to last question, what is the importance here of events like this, where we can come together and just learn about the hows and the what fors and the ways and means of actually making a meaningful repatriation?
I think events like this are extremely important and essential, because you're feeding off of different ideas, you're networking, like I said, with different people from different industries as well, and you're opening your depth of knowledge, and it's also it's good in terms of like meeting people from different sectors. So then you're not having this view that Africa's like this, or having a certain perception. So you get the real truth of the real honesty of what's really going on in Africa. So these things, it's needed.
And finally, just let people know where they can find you. I'm sure they want to know. I'm sure you want to know where you can find this sister and feast off of the the expertise, the knowledge, the wisdom, and everything. So let them know.
Okay, well, you can get me on the network outlook.com. And you can also get me on @the network on Instagram as well. So just look me up and engage, DM me, and we can see if we can collaborate if there's certain things of interest related to Africa. And yeah, let's keep this moving. It's a good thing.
It's happening, kings and queens. We're coming together and we're going home. You ain't got nothing if you ain't got kush. Greetings, kings and queens. Live Got Kush TV here once again. Oh my gosh, we've had a fantastic conversation about our return home as Diaspora Africans to the motherland, kings and queens. And I am standing next to a sister by the name of Nana Brew, and she rose in the audience and basically told us about an event taking place in Ghana later this year. I figured you're gonna want to know about it, so I asked her sister to let you know, and she graciously accepted. Greetings, my sister.
Greetings, hello everyone. So just wanted to tell you all about the Kumasi Carnival, which has been officiated by the Asante Hene, who is the king of the Ashanti Kingdom. So what he's basically doing, he's inviting people to come to Kumasi for the Kumasi Carnival as part of a spiritual journey, as part of this Ghanaian government initiative for the year of return. Right, so basically, can I just give everyone the website, please? So the website is kumasi-carnival.com, and basically the dates are October 29th until November 2nd, 2019. So the dates again, October 29th until November 2nd, 2019. If you go on the website, you'll find that there are tours on the website, and there are different ways that you can be part of the actual carnival as well.
Why did he call it Kumasi Carnival?
Okay, so when we were first discussing the issue of what to call it, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, actually, no, a carnival isn't the right idea because a carnival is a US-centric idea. But actually, what we found out doing a bit of research was that actually the idea of carnival is actually originated in Africa. So, so pre-European interference with Africa, you had the queens basically having different festivals and different carnivals where they will come in with different palanquins, different umbrellas, where they'll actually celebrate, and even the different festivals for the different seasons, the different spiritual elements of particularly the Ashanti Empire, you know. So Kumasi being the capital of the Ashanti Kingdom, it made sense for us to call it Kumasi Carnival. So that's why we went with that name.
Beautiful. That's why I asked her, because Carnival is one of the strongest like African retentions that we maintained in the Caribbean. So it's beautiful that we've got a Kumasi Carnival now, kings and queens. So you know what, I don't even. I'm trying to go Ghana next year. So I don't know if this is going to be possible, but we'll see. We'll put it out there, and we'll see if we get to Ghana this year.
One more thing. So we're trying to put this on every year. So please do come along this year. However, if you're not able to come, then there's always a chance for you to come next year. One thing that I will add, though, there are some people who would like to repatriate to Africa or to Ghana in particular. What I will say is use this carnival as your test run. Use it as your trial, because like I said, there are tours available, there are cultural, educational experiences available for you. You can speak to different government officials, different tribal chiefs to actually find out if you want to have a land, start a business. For example, when I was 18, that was the first time I went to Ghana. I'm born and raised in the UK here. But the first time that I went to Ghana, I felt such a spiritual connection with it that at the age of 18, I went and purchased my land. So I purchased my first land. It wasn't easy. I had to, you know, speak to the local people, speak to local chiefs, make sure that I got the right government organizations involved to secure that land. And what my plan is to go back within the next 10 years and set up my own university and my own boarding school. So please come for the carnival, use it as your test run for repatriation to Ghana, and also come and experience the lovely spiritual journey with us.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you for being with us. Yeah, bless up. Yeah.
My name is Na Adjekum, and right now you're watching Got Kush TV. Thank you.